Hi friends! So in today's video I wanted to talk about some practical ways that you can simplify your life. In my previous videos I've been talking a lot about how simplifying my life and living a little bit more minimally and with a more minimal mindset, if that makes sense, has changed my life and changed my heart and basically just given me room to breathe and room to grow and room to have my real self come out more and be creative. And so I've talked a lot about kind of the more like spiritual, emotional side of the benefits of making space and simplifying, decluttering, prioritizing the important things in your life. But I wanted to talk about more of like the actionable things, what that actually looks like practically, at least what it's looked like to me. And it started back in November when I started all of this. I mean, honestly, I've always kind of had this sort of mindset and this sort of perspective, but it definitely was cranked up to 10 this last November, and ever since then I've just felt so much freedom from making space and prioritizing the important things, saying no to the things that aren't important, and really protecting the important things in my life. And I think that that was a really good way for me to start to look at it, because at first it just felt like I was saying no to everything, which made me feel really guilty. Like I felt like I was saying no to going to different parties or get-togethers or hanging out with certain people, or saying no to different foods that I wasn't eating. I stopped drinking. I just felt like it was like a no fest. Like I was just saying no to everything. And I think that was really important at the time for me to have that space and to say no and clear things out. But instead of, something that really helped me was, instead of feeling guilty about saying no and, okay, you're fine. Sorry, my doggy is barking. Instead of feeling guilty about saying no to clearing things out, I started having the perspective of, I want to keep the important things sacred in my life. I want to protect the important things. And when I started having that mindset, it was a lot easier to start looking at it as a way of celebrating the important things instead of just saying no to everything, because then that just feels restrictive, and no one thrives in a restrictive mindset. I started with my stuff. I just started going through my things and my stuff, and I started asking myself, like, what is really actually important and meaningful. And I mean, I know that people say this term a lot, but like really sparks joy in me, whether that's for sentimental reasons or it's practical, it's actually a helpful tool for my life, or it makes my life easier, or it's just something fun or makes me feel creative. It supports the life that I want. So I started going through my house and my things and my shed and my closets, and one by one asking myself what really sparks joy and what is a helpful, productive tool in my life. And productive doesn't have to mean what makes me money or what supports my job or what makes me get more stuff done. It doesn't have to mean that. Productive can mean what helps me relax, what helps me get better creativity, what helps me feel more like myself. And things like rest and being creative and reading books and watching movies that make you feel a certain way, like all those things are productive. That's part of our human nature and the things that we need as a human being. We need all things, not just things that make money, not just things that get more stuff done. So I started asking myself, what things are actually helpful in supporting who I want to be, and what are the things worth protecting and worth celebrating. And so when I started to focus on like this item or this thing, this tool is worth protecting and worth finding easily and worth having really accessible in my life, that made it really easy to clutter out the old things. And also having the perspective of like when I'm giving this item away, when I'm not using this item anymore, it's not me being ungrateful for it or throwing it away. It's me giving someone else the opportunity to love and cherish and celebrate that item. Like that item is going to be someone's favorite thing. It's going to be their style. It's going to be exactly what they need. It's going to help them in their life and be productive in their life. And I want to be able to give that gift to someone. If I can give that to a friend or donate it and have someone buy it for a cheaper price, I want to be able to do that. And when I started having that mindset, it was a lot easier to simplify my home and get rid of the excess without feeling guilty or feeling wasteful. And partially it's good to be aware of, okay, I either bought this or someone gave me this and I'm not using it. I want to be conscious of what I'm buying, what I'm spending my money on. It definitely has done that, but that's a good, helpful, productive feeling. It's not out of a place of guilt. Next is I decluttered and prioritized my schedule. This was a really hard one because it just felt like every single day was booked so tightly with so many different peoples and events and work things, and I just felt like I wasn't giving enough to everyone. And so it ended up being where pretty much every night of the week I was going to a different person's house or trying to do more, and I just felt like so overwhelmed and drowning that I couldn't really give my 100% to any of them because I was spread so thin. So it really started with having to make a decision of, okay, I need to start thinking about who do I want to be, and realistically the people that I spend time with and the 5 closest people to me are going to be who I turn into. The people that you spend time with, your friends, the people that you surround yourself with, really does end up influencing who you are. And so I started being strategic about that. I started asking myself, okay, like if I want to be a better friend, if I want to stay in on Saturday nights and enjoy time at home and enjoy having fun without going out and drinking and partying, if I want to be loyal and be a kind person and be challenged to be smarter and be an entrepreneur, then I need to surround my life and surround my circle with people that are smart and kind and loving and that can have fun without doing things that compromise who I am. And I just started being strategic about that and kind of planning my week and my social outings according to that priority list. And it was interesting too because I feel like when I saw it more as, I want this to be productive time. I want this to be something that feels like it's worth my time and theirs, where before I just felt like I was more out of obligation than actually wanting to be there. I just felt like I was so in my head and I was frantic and I felt guilty because I didn't go to the last event, and I felt like, okay, I need to figure out the 5 people that I want to really be engaged with, that I want to really be connected with, that I want to be there for no matter what, and give my 100% in those friendships and those relationships. And not to say that you can't spend time with people that aren't, quote, like who you want to be, but I'm saying like in the top 5 and your 5 closest friends, then I feel like they should have those qualities, because they really do rub off on you, and have those be priorities. And so when I started thinking about, okay, like those 5 people or those groups of people, like I want to give my heart and soul to, because those relationships are sacred. Those relationships are worth protecting. Those relationships are worth having boundaries and protection around. And I'm not protecting those relationships and I'm not keeping them sacred if I'm so distracted because I'm thinking about the next event that I have to go to, and the next person that I have to call or text back, or it was infringing on those relationships, and I feel like I couldn't give my 100% to them. So when I started looking at it that way, I would rather have fewer people that I can actually be loyal and connect with and really listen and really be present for, and really give my heart and soul in this friendship and relationship. It was easier to start saying no to some events and some get-togethers and hanging out with certain people, and also part of it too is it might just be this season of my life for me. Maybe this year I just need to have less people and I need to have less influence. I need to have room to breathe and space. Maybe it'll look totally different in a year, or maybe it looks totally different to you, and that's okay. That's totally fine. This is just what has been helping me. Another thing that has been really good for me to simplify and try and kind of hone in on is my house. My house and my space, my environment. If I can make my space and my environment simpler and easier, like even simple things, like one example is I got a smaller laundry basket, because one thing that I was noticing was I had this big laundry basket that would end up filling up with like 3 loads of laundry, and then all of a sudden I was overwhelmed with 3 loads of laundry, and then I had all this stuff stuffed in my dirty clothes, and I didn't know where things were, and I wanted all of my wardrobe and my closet to be pretty curated, and I wanted to be aware of what was in it and where it was. That was something that was stressing me out when I was getting ready for work, and so having a smaller laundry basket where I was forced to, when this laundry basket fills up, I have to do a load of laundry. I have no way around it. That was really helpful. That was super helpful. And I've just been trying to find little tiny things like that to be able to make the rhythm and the flow of my day in my home and in my environment simpler and more straightforward. My beauty and hygiene routine, simplifying that. I feel like I had so many lotions and potions and creams and an eye cream and spot cream, and I mean I just had so many different moisturizers and cleansers and everything like that. I felt like it was all cluttered and none of it really worked totally well, and none of it really fit my need, but I didn't really know what to get rid of. And so that was one thing that I simplified, was I started doing some research on like, okay, what are some good natural things that are going to nourish my skin that I can just use, like one face wash and one moisturizer. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been trying to do one face wash and one moisturizer, and it has been incredible. My skin has done better than when I had a ton of lotions and different products and different serums, and also it takes so much faster in the shower, because in my shower routine just goes by so quick now. Like I pretty much just wash my hair, condition my hair, wash my face, and wash my body. That's pretty much it. And when I need to, I'll like shave. But I another thing that I did that really simplified my beauty routine was a couple years ago I got laser hair removal, and that was one of the best things ever because I have to shave maybe once a week now. I mean, I could probably even go much longer than that, but it makes shower time so much faster, so much quicker. It's also saving me money because I'm not buying shaving cream and a bunch of different types of razors all the time, and razor bump lotion, stuff like that. I'm saving time and eventually money in the long term. So my whole shower routine just goes by so much quicker. I used to dread getting in the shower because I just had so many things to do. I had to exfoliate everything, and I had to moisturize everything, I had to shave everything, I had to wash my hair twice, and like it was overwhelming, and I just didn't want to do it. So now I have a shower routine that's really quick and straightforward and is actually the essentials. So it goes by really fast and it's enjoyable, and there's not a lot of decision making in the shower, which sounds funny that I even had that in the first place, but I did. It was just so many choices I had to make on where to shave and what to exfoliate, and it was just overwhelming. So simplifying it really helped narrow things down for me, and it allowed it to be a relaxing, rejuvenating practice for me. Also, simplifying my makeup and hair routine. I used to take so long to get ready. I mean, over an hour, sometimes even like an hour and a half in high school. I don't even know what I did for the whole time. But now I can pretty much start to finish get ready in like 15 minutes or so, like fully ready, and I can be up and out in the door in 5 minutes if I need to. Just being able to wash my face really quick, moisturize, and then put a little bit of makeup on. My whole makeup routine has gotten a lot simpler. Most of the time I don't even wear a lot of makeup anymore. I'll end up usually wearing like a little bit of concealer and a little bit of bronzer. I have like a bronzer and blush palette that comes together. Half of it's bronzer, half of it is blush, and so I'll put that on, a little bit of mascara, a little bit of eyebrow stuff, and that's really all I do now. And sometimes, like today, like I went to church, and so I put a little bit of eyeliner on, but that literally takes 2 seconds. So overall, I just have become less of a perfectionist, because I feel like before I was trying to look like a different person. I was trying to look different and be a different person and present myself as a different person, where I've really just been trying to shed that and let go of that. I want to present myself to the world as me, and I don't want to hide my features. I don't want to hide my face. I know I'm gonna have some zits sometimes. I know I'm gonna have dark circles on my eyes sometimes. I know that my skin is gonna have bumps sometimes. That's just part of being a human being, and I don't want to live my life feeling ashamed of being a human being anymore, because everyone has that stuff, and I'm tired of caring about it. So I think that's really helped, just caring less about that appearance side of things and really just trying to exemplify and support my real features and show myself. So those are just a few practical ways that I went about trying to simplify my life and my routine and make my schedule and my life feel like it had more space, feel like it had room for the good to grow, and room for the things that were important to me and that were sacred to me to have space. And I wanted to welcome those things in my life, and part of welcoming the good is clearing out the bad and clearing out the stuff, not even the bad, but clearing out the stuff that isn't a priority and that isn't needed. So these are just a few practical ways that I did that in my life, and I'm still learning and I'm still growing, and I am hopefully on a never-ending journey with this. I want to keep learning and keep growing. I would love to hear the different things that you guys did to simplify your life and to give more space in your life. and things that you did to help give yourself room to breathe and feel like you have room to grow in your own life. I love you all, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!